In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make easy macrame fringe with just 2 rows of knots. I will be making the macrame fringe across the bottom of the Sage Summer Dream front panel. First, grab 2 strands of your pre-cut fringe. I like to fold it in half to find the center of the fringe, and then keep hold of the fringe right there in the middle. You will use a crochet hook to help you thread the fringe through the chain spaces. In this tutorial, we are going to put fringe in every other chain space going across the bottom here. Working left to right, we're going to insert the hook from the back to the front in the corner chain space, grab that yarn and pull it through. Next is to just yarn over and pull those ends through the loop to make a nice secure knot. Pull to tighten the knot. We're going to skip the next chain space and work in the chain space right after that. Take another 2 pieces of fringe, fold in half so you can find the middle of the fringe. Then insert that hook from back to front and pull the yarn through that chain space. You're going to yarn over and pull those ends through the loop you just made. And then again, pull the yarn tight to secure it with a knot. Continue this process across the entire panel. Next up is creating that first row of knots across here. Again, working left to right, take 2 strands from that first group of fringe and set aside to the left. You will take the remaining 2 strands of fringe and join them with 2 strands in the next group over. With all 4 of these strands, you will make a knot about 1 inch down from the top using an overhand knot technique. I simply make a loop and pull those ends through that loop. Carefully pull tight so that knot is about 1 inch down. Join the remaining 2 strands with 2 strands from the next group over, and again tie another overhand knot about 1 inch down. Adjust that knot as needed when you're pushing it up here. The goal is to have an even V, the same amount of length there, not like a big old loop, so it lays nicely. And again, continue in the same manner all the way across. Use the remaining 2 strands and join with 2 strands from the next fringe group over and make a knot about 1 inch down. When you make your last knot of the last fringe group, you'll notice that there are still 2 unworked strands, just like the beginning of this row. So go ahead and leave all of those unworked. Okay, let's make that second row of knots here. Working left to right again, join the 2 unworked strands with 2 strands from the next fringe group over. We will now tie an overhand knot with all 4 strands about 1 inch below that previous knot. Pay attention to this knot and try to make it about 1 inch below that knot. Repeating the process across, we will join the 2 strands on the left with 2 strands from the next fringe group over. Continue tying an overhand knot about 1 inch below those previous knots. You can continue watching me make a couple knots here, but then stop when you reach the end of the row. After that final knot, you will have those unworked strands from before, just like at the beginning of this round. We're going to join those with the last 2 strands and make a knot about 1 inch down. You may want to steam or wet block the fringe to smooth it out, and then take some scissors and trim as needed. And that's it. That's some simple macrame fringe you can add to any of your projects.